Okay, enemies to lovers. I've been waiting for this one. Hello, I'm Lauren Roberts, the author of the Powerless Trilogy, and today I'm going to be ranking romance tropes. Forbidden love. Okay, this is pretty self-explanatory because it's love that is forbidden, can't happen, but it adds a lot more tension to the story. I mean, obviously, all of Powerless is basically this in a way. This has got to be A tier. I mean, like I said, it adds a lot of tension. And, we can't be together, but we want to be, that makes it more fun. Knife to throat. Knife to throat can sound very scary, and it kind of is in the moment, but it's very much like, back off. It's like a power play almost, if that makes sense. She's this baddie with a dagger or a sword, and she's strong. The use of baddie was crazy, but most of the time she's not actually going to hurt him. It is kind of like I could hurt you if I wanted to because I'm just as strong, which we love, because we love when the two main characters can kind of like match each other's freaks. You wouldn't think it's romantic, but anytime it happens, you're like, tee-hee, like knife to throat. I'm gonna give it A tier because it's just always fun. Again, I want to have fun at the end of the day. Okay, friends to lovers. There's not much to say other than I don't really like it. It's not my favorite. Sometimes I feel like it lacks the romantic tension. Especially if they've been friends for a really long time. And a lot of times I'm like, you guys should not be lovers. Like, stay friends. This isn't gonna work, So, people might not agree with me, but I think I'm gonna rate this like a C. I think if it's done well, it's really great. But sometimes I'm like, I want it to be more exciting than friends to lovers. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna say C. Okay, fake dating. Two people kind of like trying to fool people to better themselves. That's typically how it goes. Like, it's a deal. Like, let's pretend to date because it'll help each of us. This is a good one because it always ends up to not be fake. And they always end up liking each other. And they have to kiss in front of people. And they're like, oh yeah, I hated that, but they didn't. So I would say it brings some good tension, and I do enjoy this. So I'm gonna say, maybe a B? B on the cusp of A. That might be a hot take, but I'm gonna stick with it. Okay, bad boy. I feel like I like this as a trope because in real life, I would run the other way. I would like to think, because a lot of times we don't really want to date those people in real life, but so it's fun to read about it and whatever. So I might put this at B, maybe A actually, because I mean, if you think about it, Kai is a little bit of like this morally gray bad boy in a sense, but there's more to him than that. So you know what, maybe I'll put it at an A because I do enjoy there being like some depth with the pining men. Okay, opposites attract. I would say, honestly, I think this is a little overrated. Sometimes opposites do attract, but then sometimes that's just not good either. So I wouldn't say this is one of my favorite tropes. Like, I'd put this at C for sure, if not a little lower. These might be hot takes. I don't know how people are gonna feel about this. Okay, enemies to lovers. I've been waiting for this one. These are enemies who then become lovers. And again, you get a combo deal because with this comes a lot of other tropes. The knife to the throat, forced proximity, things like that. So I have to put this in S tier. No matter how you do it, I feel like it's always going to be entertaining. And that's what I'm looking for. Like, I just want to have a good time in a romance book. That's what I want. And enemies to lovers is almost always going to give me that, because the romantic tension and the banter is always going to be there. So, all right, S tier, fine. Secret relationship. Basically, it's two characters. They're not supposed to be together. Think like star-crossed lovers, okay? And they're very much hiding their love and their yearning. I'm gonna eat that up every single time. And I think we see that a little bit in Fearless, and how it's like this pining, but they're not allowed to be together. So it's like stealing little glances and moments and stuff. So I thoroughly enjoy secret relationships. I'm gonna put it at an A, because I think it adds so much to the story. And there's, again, more tension when you're trying to hide your true feelings. Forced proximity. Okay, if you've read Reckless, that's literally the whole book. It's basically them being forced to be in close quarters, and they're stuck together, and, you know, they have to live life, sometimes being chained together, which is how Reckless is. So this is a good one. This is one of my favorites. Ooh, I might have to put this at S tier, because it brings so many other tropes to the table. Like, a lot of times when you're forced proximity, you don't want to be, aka you're already enemies to lovers, aka there might be a knife to the throat, you know? So I feel like you get a little combo deal with the tropes. So I'm gonna say S tier. Okay, last one. Love triangle. Okay, so this is when there are three characters, and they're all kind of like, wait, no, they're not liking each other. That would be like a throuple. I mean, maybe actually. The main character has two love interests, okay? And it adds a lot to the story, obviously, because you're kind of following two different plot lines in a sense. Like, a lot of times the character has different relationships with both. Like, we love to see like the black cat versus like the golden retriever type character. Not my favorite. It's really not. I actually tried to make sure Powerless was very not a love triangle in any sense. Like, I wanted to make it clear who Peyton was into, because I don't like it. There's a few books who do it really, really well, and I thoroughly enjoy them, but for me, it's not my favorite. So I'm gonna put this, should I make this a D? I'm gonna make it a D. I'm gonna stick with that. Cool!
Because it's gonna be so fun.
Yay! Was that okay? Do you want me to redo something?
No.